kind of chilly in here, but I'll leave it on just in case I get hot during the live so I don't have to get back on, because I didn't realize the fan was on. I turned the light on and I didn't see the fan turn on also, so whatever. We're here. Hello everybody, welcome in. I'm trying to fix this bun. I'm a very particular person when it comes to making my buns. I love a good messy bun, but it has to be a certain type of messy. It can't just be looking all crazy. And so welcome in for the people that are just now tuning in and you don't know who I am. This is your first time here, first time seeing me. Hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. And so my goal for you and for the lives that I could put out, the content that I put out, and everything that I do to support everyone on this earth and understanding what is going on with our food system, our bodies, and healing and making all the connections, is us realizing that we have not been taught how to take care of our body properly, and we haven't been taught the key things that we need for our body to be healing from the inside out. And so I am here to help you not only make the connections, but learn how to help your body heal and to understand the habits that you have that have been blocking your healing. And so today we're going to be talking about the missing piece to your healing journey. We're going to be talking about using food as your medicine like we normally do, and incorporating that and understanding how and what we need to do to support our body in getting rid of the block, promoting our healing, promoting us changing, promoting us to have the healthy habits that we deserve and that we need. And so we have to understand that, first of all, if you are feeling like everything is going against you, far as your health, far as your mental, far as you being able to make healthy choices, you have to realize that you have to assess, have you tried anything differently? Have you been following what everybody else is doing with diet culture? Have you tried something different outside of the box? Or are you just doing and conforming what everybody else is doing? Because I can tell you, if you're following diet culture, if you're doing this starvation diets, if you're sitting here following these food pyramids and these my plates and doing what they're telling you to do, you're just managing. You're causing an imbalance and you're not getting the healing that you deserve and that you want and that what you're looking for. Because when you are following the system's programming of what they have been teaching us, you see the results. When you look outside, you observe the world, you see the results of what is going on. People are ill. People have chronic diseases running rampant through their family. People are getting sick younger and younger, and generation after generation. They're seeing teens and young adults with more illnesses and diseases than ever before. They're seeing children develop diabetes and insulin resistance younger and younger. They're seeing all of these issues, all because we're being experimented on with these foods and with these systems that are governing over us that tell you it's okay for you to have all these additives and fillers in your food. It's okay for you to not know how to take care of your body because there's some type of medical solution. Not realizing the fact that when they tell you have to take this prescription, you have to take this medication, you need to get a surgery, and you follow through with that, you're never healing. You're not supporting your body in healing, because in reality, Western medicine should be used as something as the last resort. Something as, okay, there's an emergency, there's an issue, we have to go and fix it quickly. But you shouldn't be using these medications and prescriptions in your daily life every single day. You shouldn't be relying on a surgery in order for your body to look the way that it needs to or to feel the way that it should be. You should be learning how to use food as your medicine, cutting back on processed foods, understanding what experiencing and seeing what a healthy fast feels like and what it looks like and doing it correctly. Not starving yourself, but actually understanding how to correctly fast to support your body. Understanding how you should be feeling every single day and not fatigued and tired and depending on coffee or all these other things, but actually waking up with energy. You should have all these experiences in your life, whether you're young or whether you're old. It does not matter, because if you're taking care of your body correctly, you will feel that. Thank you for these gifts. I really appreciate it. And you'll understand that. And you'll see this cycle of everybody spinning on the same wheel of not taking care of their body. When you observe the world, you see how people are not supporting their body. You see how they're poisoning themselves. And you are in the same category because you're doing the exact same thing. You cannot separate yourself just because you work out, just because, oh, I take care of my body because I only eat this every 2 to 3 days or every 2 weeks or whatever else. That is not okay. If you are consuming poison, you're not taking care of your body. If you were sitting here following what everybody else is telling you what to do when it comes to eating meat, eating dairy, eating processed foods, I can tell you and guarantee you're full of toxins. I can guarantee and tell you right now, you are inflamed, and inflammation leads you down a path of having diseases. You're sitting here having painful menstrual cycles if you're a woman. You're sitting here hormonal imbalances, men and women. You're developing chronic illnesses. You're constantly sick. You're constantly fatigued. You have no mental clarity. You're anxious all the time. You're going in and out of panic attacks. That is a sign that your body's imbalanced. That's a sign that your body is in fight or flight mode. Your body is speaking to you. These are warning signs. And you're sitting there feeling like you have to deal with this alone, or that you can't deal with it because you're all alone, when in reality you are not alone. You are not sitting here dealing with this issue by yourself, because there are plenty of other people that identify with these same issues. But the problem is nobody's figuring out how to do anything about it. You want to get better. You want to change your lifestyle. You want to be healthy. You want to feel better. But what are you doing to actually get there? What actions are you taking? What are you changing? What are you establishing in your life that is new, that is going to support you, rather than just keep adding in a bunch of junk and in a bunch of crap? Because when you take medications or prescriptions, those are fillers. Those are momentary band-aids. That's not going to help you. How are you changing your habits to support your body? Thanks to the likes and sharing of the live. Thank you for the gifts. I truly appreciate all of these. You guys are amazing. Let me get a drink of water really quickly. Because here's the thing you have to understand. Yes, you haven't realized what you've been doing to your body. And yes, maybe now you're coming into the realization. And yes, maybe you're not taking action. But the issue isn't just necessarily you. Yes, the habits and the actions that you choose is you. But the issue isn't necessarily you. Because when you are programmed into something, that's what you come accustomed to. When you every single day see somebody in your life eat this way because your parents have eaten this way, your peers eat this way, your family members that you have, etc., etc., everybody eats this way, you are programmed into thinking this is the way that you should be consuming. But when you step back and you realize that that's the reason why every single female in your family has painful menstrual cycles. That's the reason why everybody in your family eventually develops insulin resistance. Some people have diabetes. People in your family, cancer runs rampant through it, whether it's breast cancer, it's ovarian cancer, whether it's you having cysts and fibroids and all these different things. You'll start to realize that you've been missing the key essential nutrients that you need, the missing pieces to actually be healing in your healing journey. And you realize nobody in your family, none of your peers, nobody around you uses food as their medicine. And that's the key issue. That is the problem, because there is no quick fixes that are going to help you heal internally. There are no quick fixes that are going to support you. There is no short-term results, short-term solutions to the results you're looking for. It's all about taking a transformational approach. It's all about you transforming your lifestyle, transforming your habits, learning how to nourish your body, how to unlock the healing that you deserve within by changing the things that you do currently that are not supporting you, and swapping those habits to things that are actually going to support you. Your food habits, reparent the food habits that you have. Learn how to eat correctly. Learn how to support your body. Learn what your cravings truly mean outside of just, oh, I want sugar. Oh, I want this. Realize that craving is telling you you're missing an essential nutrients. And so I'm going to give you a personal story, and I'm going to break this down to you. Let me put some lip gloss on really quickly because my lips are super, super dry. I did a scrub yesterday and now they're super dry. I want to break this down to you. I was once somebody who was feeling stuck. I know how it feels to feel stuck. I know how it feels to suffer when it comes to you having inflammation. I struggled with chronic inflammation, and I didn't even realize it. From a very young age, I had inflammation. I was dealing with hormonal imbalances when I started my cycle. I was low energy. I had weight fluctuation that seemed impossible to balance. I was having knee pain in 5th grade, which is a sign of chronic inflammation. I was not being supported with the foods that I was eating, and I was never getting real nutrients that I deserved and that I needed. And a lot of people don't realize that they're not either. You're malnourished. I was malnourished. I never worked with my body, but rather against it. So I was doing diet culture. I was taking supplements. I was sitting there every single month prepping up 3 days before my menstrual cycle. I'm taking Tylenol, I'm taking Aleve, I'm taking Advils. I'm sitting here taking prescriptions, hoping that my menstrual cycle won't be as painful, hoping I manage my PMS. All of the advice that I was taking from my doctor, all of the advice that I was taking from my peers, my people around me, following what everybody else was doing, was not helping me understand my body and how you need to understand your body as well. Because people talk about all the time that like they're so in sync with their body and they're so in sync with the world and they feel so heavily, but you don't even see the own warning signs when your body is speaking to you, telling you, hey, we're imbalanced and I'm hungry. And the reason why we're so imbalanced is because you're not giving me nutrients every single day. You're filling me with crap instead of fuel. People love to talk about how in tune they are with their body, but they can't even tell the warning signs of inflammation and what they need to do to change. They can't even tell you what the last thing that they ate that makes them inflamed. That's not being in tune with your body. Just because you feel deeply, just because you feel deeply on a spiritual level, that does not mean you're in tune with your body. Because feeling spiritual tugs and spiritual, I'm trying to think of the word. Spiritual energies, that's the word I'm trying to think of. That's a part of you living. That's a part of you being a person. Taking care of your body is a choice that you make internally to your conscious self. So you have to make the conscious choice of realizing the fact that you have not been consuming correctly. You have consistently poisoning your body because you aren't consciously consuming, but rather just filling. It was a hard time for me to grasp that concept when I was following diet culture. It was a hard concept to understand when I wasn't using food correctly, but rather sitting here thinking like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and calorie count, restrict these kind of foods that they're telling me not to eat dairy, to not eat bread, to not do all this different stuff. And then I'm going to go back to the way I was beforehand, because at the end of the day, as long as I do this little short period of time of me doing this, I'm healthy, right? But then every single time I got done with my diet or my cleanse or whatever else I wanted to call it, keto, paleo, all of that different stuff, I did Whole30 for at least 3 months, on and off diets for 6 months. As soon as I stopped eating that way, as soon as I went back to the way that I was eating before, I gained weight. I gained all the weight back, and I gained more weight than what I was before. Suffered for 6 months of calorie counting, restricting, doing all these different things and not enjoying the process, but loving the way that my body looked. So I kept going. And then within a month and a half, I was more weight than when I started. You don't have to put your body through that, and you don't have to do that. If I would have shifted my mindset around what was healthy and using food as my medicine and understanding how to get full nutrients so I wasn't hungry all day and starving, everything would have changed for me back then and how it has now. I would have started to understand how to support my body, because over the past 4 years, because I'm 4 years into being plant-based, over the past 4 years, I have healed all the issues that I was having before. Knee pain in 5th grade, developed asthma in high school, was having painful menstrual cycles since the time that I started, having hormonal imbalances, which causes a whole bunch of different other issues, not having any mental clarity, so I was constantly anxious, having panic attacks, going in and out of depression episodes. I healed all of those issues, dealing with the weight fluctuation, not having any energy, all by understanding the power of food and how you should be consuming food versus you just filling your stomach with junk. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're not hungry, you make it to the next day. When that should not be the way that you consume. That should not be the way that you eat. I'll answer your questions at the end of this live if you stay tuned with us for any questions that are not related to what we're talking about right now at this current topic, because we are talking about using food as your medicine, yes, but we're not necessarily talking directly about different foods. So if you'll save that question to the end, that'll be great for me. And if you're still here, I'll scroll back up. If you don't type it again, I'll scroll back up and look for it. Let me see what point I was at. So by the end of the live today, we're going to understand that using food as your medicine, why we should be doing it, the ultimate key of resetting your body and resetting your health and reducing inflammation and creating the lasting energy that you deserve and that you need and that you're looking for. Because you have to understand that transformation can happen for you. It's a matter of what you're going to do, the actions that you take. And I have the ultimate code that is going to help you be able to do that for yourself thanks to the follow. And I literally just am going to introduce to you not only the Bloom to Thrive, if you haven't heard about that program that I have today, but we're also going to talk about the cleansing code. And the cleansing code is a bundle that I'm going to dive into later in the live. I'm not going to talk too much into it, but it's going to help you reset your body and to get right on track. if you are somebody who feels like you're imbalanced and you're off track, especially around this time of people who celebrate holidays and you overconsume and you eat a bunch of junk, this will help you reset your body before January, before you decide that, oh, it's the new year, I need to get it together. Do it first. Do it before the new year. Do it before you start into a new space. Because these two tools right here are designed to take you from being overwhelmed, energized, unhealthy, dealing with weight fluctuation, inflamed, all of these issues, to take you to elevate your journey into wellness and to support you and to feel empowered. And so we're going to be talking about first is the truth about toxins. So we're going to break down toxins and we're going to understand these toxins, how they're affecting you. And so the toxins are everywhere. We know this. We understand this. The toxins are in our environment. They're in our air. We breathe them in. Like the water we drink is toxic. If you don't understand that more, I have plenty of videos that go into like what's going on with our water, understanding the water. There's plenty of topics talking about our water and how toxic they are. I use an Epic water filter. I have that. It's a water bottle I take everywhere. You can fill up anywhere, any kind of water. It filters it with a charcoal filter, okay? And especially in the foods that we eat, we're being poisoned because they're toxic. They add all of these different heavy metals. They add all of these. They have food full of microplastics because our food is in plastic. They have these fillers, these additives. They have all of these chemicals that throw off our balance, our natural chemical balance on the inside, that cause hormone disruption inside of our body. And these build up in our system over time because these are all toxic. These all are toxic to our body. And our body feels overwhelmed every single day. And so instead of our body being able to expel it and to reset and to cleanse itself because we're giving everything that we need because we're flushing our body, instead our body feels overwhelmed and it starts to go into panic mode, fight or flight mode, works our organs over time, and also throws off our chemical balance. So our brain is off, our gut is off, our intestinal system is off. And so you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you can't heal because your body's not healing, but you don't realize it's because there's a block. The reason why your body is not healing is because you have blocked it. That's why you're in fight or flight mode. That fight or flight mode is your body's way of saying, hey, I have to figure out what's going on and get rid of it and fight it off, but I don't know what to do because you're not giving me anything to help. So I'm working overtime. That's the reason why your intestinal system is off. That's the reason why your gut balance is off. That's the reason why your brain is off. And people are not realizing that these autopsies that they're doing on bodies are showing that our internal organs are 3 times our actual external age. So right now, you could be 30 years old and your internal organs are sitting here 60 years old because they have worked overtime for 15, 20, 30 years of their life since you started consuming. And that should be a national crisis. But instead of it being a problem, they see it as a profit margin because they are projecting to make $1 trillion off of people being obese and diabetic alone, being overweight and diabetic. And so when you really put 2 and 2 together, that they know that our organs internally are aged 3 times our external age and there's a problem, but they're projecting to make profit and they're not making it a national crisis, when are you going to catch on to the agenda? When are you going to realize that 2030 agenda is just more than, oh, what they tell you on TV and these celebrities are coming and telling you, you need to be up and you need to go vote and all this different stuff, even though you don't even get your end result of what you want? Realize it goes deeper than what they're telling you on TV. If they're telling you something on TV, you're late to the game. Let's just really be honest. If you are getting told something on TV and it's now a national news issue, you're late to the party. So that means you have some researching to do. Because when they were talking about the 2030 agenda on the BET Awards, I think last year, and they were talking about how Taraji P. Henson was telling everybody and putting everybody on, they've been talking about this since 2020. They've been talking about this since 2019. Y'all were late to the game and y'all jumped on the bandwagon of believing that, oh my goodness, these people are really here for us and they're supposed to be helping us. They're not. They're not. And the stats tell you that they're not. Because did you know that over 90% of people have detectable levels of harmful pesticides and microplastics in their body? And yes, they're talking about how these people that are over us, that are governing our food, are supposed to be helping us and they're trying to figure out systems to filtrate this out. But in reality, they have the systems to fix it because they're the ones that are harming us and putting it in. What they're trying to get together and figure out right now is how can they make a profit margin? How can they make this a new bill? How can they make it just like your water bill? How can they just make it just like your electric bill? How can they make it something that they make profit off of you every single month? That they can make it a new reoccurring bill. So if you want clean water, now you have to sit here and get this certain filtration system put in, which can be $1,000. Now you have to also get these new filters. Now you also have to pay this tax. So if you want clean water, you have to pay in a premium. Like, really sit here and think about it. They're not sitting here trying to figure out how they can filter out your microplastics. They know how they can filter it out. Stop making plastic so accessible. Instead, they're trying to figure out how can we make profit? How can we make these people eat plastic? Because if you don't know, they're making edible plastic. That's not a theory. That's not some kind of fear mongering. That's facts. They're making edible plastic so people can start eating up the plastic that is polluting our earth that they're so worried about, which they're not worried about. Because if they were so worried about our pollution, they would ban plastic. They would no longer allow people to be able to use plastic. These companies that profit off of plastic. They would start requiring you have to use paper bags, you have to use glass. But no. Instead, they're like, how can you eat the plastic so that when you start complaining about, oh, you have microplastics in your blood-brain barrier, it's past that, it's in your brain, and you have tumors. Now we're going to make money off of you having tumors, cancer, and the fact that you're filled up with microplastics. There's so many hidden toxins, and they're going to keep adding these toxins in because nobody is standing up to sit here and say, you know what, I'm going to raise my kids to not eat this, and the next household and the next household, so that we have a new generation of kids that know that this crap is not right, and that my parents have taught me not to poison myself, so I won't poison myself. Because you're so busy worried about what you won't have. The lack mindset of, I'm going to struggle to be able to find the foods that I love. I'm not going to be able to eat meat. I'm not going to be able to eat dairy. I'm going to have to cut out all this crap. Instead of focusing on what you can have. Because right now, what you're tapped into with the lifestyle that you live currently right now, all it's giving you is inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and leading you down the path of having chronic illnesses and diseases like diabetes, autoimmune diseases, cancer. So is that really what you want? Like, you're so focused on what you won't be able to have far as food. But the foods that you're eating right now, all it's giving you is hormonal imbalances, inflammation, chronic diseases and illnesses. I don't see a benefit to what you're doing. But when somebody like me who is sitting here telling you, you can use food as your medicine, you can heal and support your body, you know what all you have to do? Find new foods to incorporate in so you can swap out, so you have the dishes that you love, but figure out how to make it in a plant-based form, because there are literally thousands of plants on this earth, some not even accessible to you, some still not even discovered on this earth. So there's a plethora of different meals for you to try. There's a plethora of new dishes for you to create, for people to create. You're so focused on meat, chicken, pork, dairy. When your body is inflamed, it's your body's sign of telling you you are built up with toxins. Toxins store inside of your fat cells. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for liking up the live. I really appreciate it. When you are built up with toxins, they store inside of your fat cells. So for this statistic of them talking about that over 50% of Americans currently right now are overweight, over 50%. And they're projecting it to go up, I think, to about 70%. Think about how much toxins are built up inside of these people. If you're dealing with excess weight, if you're dealing with excess fat, how much toxins are stored inside of that? Majority usually have excess fat around their face, their arms, their lower belly. If you are suffering from painful menstrual cycles, think about that. When you have your painful menstrual cycle, when you have fibroids, when you have cysts, and you have a big bloated gut, a big bloated belly, that's your body's sign of telling you that's where the toxins are storing. There's something that needs to be released. You have to stop blocking your body from naturally releasing these things, which you can. Because your menstrual cycle is the direct sign of how your health is for ladies. We're not taught that. We're told that that's just something that you have to go through for you to release because you're not having children. But that is really your direct sign of telling you, hey, we haven't created life So you should be creating other things. You should be creating a happy space. You should be creating as far as like you being creative in content. If you create content, you should be creative. If you like to draw, if you like to paint or whatever else, you should be able to use that energy. But majority of you can't because you don't even know, or you can't even harvest it because you're too busy sitting here suffering every single month. You can't even have a creative thought during that time because you're too busy suffering. All because you're built up with toxins from the foods that you eat because you don't use food as your medicine. And so when you were sitting here disrupting your body with these toxins every single time you consume them and they store inside of you and you do nothing to flush them out, do nothing to support your body, your hormones are imbalanced. So then you're weakening your immune system. Weakening your immune system is leading you to having symptoms like weight gain, brain fog, fatigue, constant fatigue at that. So when are you going to realize that you have been working against your body? Do you feel like your body is working against you? Like really sit here and think. Every single day when you wake up, if you have to depend on coffee, medications, supplements, to whatever else for you to be healthy in your brain, do you feel like your body is working against you and you're playing cat and mouse? You're trying to play catch up? You're trying to get back? Because that's what it sounds like to me. So do you feel that way? What has been your biggest struggle for you? Have you been fatigued? Do you have a whole bunch of cravings? Are you suffering from bloating, excess fat, or weight gain that you have weight fluctuation you can't solve? What do you have going on? What are you feeling like? Take a mental inventory of your body, of the way your mental health feels. How are you feeling? How are you treating yourself? Because the amazing thing is that your body wants to heal. That's the amazing thing. Regardless of what you are doing to your body wants to heal. It has a desire to heal. It's just a matter of that it needs the right tools. It needs the right help. It needs the right unblocking, the flushing. That's where cleansing, that's where detoxing, that's where using food as your medicine, actually eating real whole foods comes in. Because you have to do that on the regular. I'm plant-based and I still cleanse on a regular. I eat only fruits and vegetables, regardless if it's in a cooked form or raw. And I still cleanse myself regularly because I understand the impact and the power. If you are somebody who hates working out, you don't like to be active, I'm not saying you don't do that, but you should start cleansing and resetting and detoxing first. See how your body flushes it, so you see how your body changes automatically just by you eating correctly. Because that's what I started. I didn't start just working out. I've always been an active kid. I've always played sports, but I didn't start working out when I first started my plant-based journey or me being healthier 5 years ago. Or I think 6 years ago, because that was 2020. But when I started actually supporting me with food, I didn't start working out as soon as I went plant-based. I just started slowly understanding how to use food as my medicine. And that eventually led me to, oh, I know my body will be snatched if I start working out on a regular. Oh, I want to support myself with not only cleansing, but starting to actually be active. So now I can say, I don't have weight fluctuation. I don't have to suffer. All because I'm taking care of my body with the foods that I'm eating, the actions that I have, the products that I use in my home. I don't use any toxic products. I use natural products, and not just the ones I go and buy on the shelf and it says it's vegan. So I go and I get it because it says it's vegan on it. And you never flip it around and look at the ingredients and actually see that it still has toxic chemicals just because it says it's fragrance free or it's vegan because it doesn't have any animal products. Because in reality, a lot of those labels are lying to you. I make my own products. I make my own toothpaste. I make my own mouthwash. I make my own body wash. I have my own laundry detergent. I don't have to depend on these companies. So let's say they close the store today and they're just like, yeah, you don't have a grocery store. I don't have that anymore, where there is no bleach. There is no, what is it called? There is no Lysol. There is no for you to go out here and do X, Y, and Z. I know how I can make and create my own soaps, my own tinctures, my own medicines, my own different things that I need for me to be healthy and healing. If everything cut out today, I would still be fine. Not saying that I want that to happen, but if everything cut out today, I could start growing a garden. I might be starving for a little bit, but I could start growing a garden, have my own products made, have everything that I needed, all because I use natural things. Because you don't even know this. A lot of y'all don't realize there are a couple of different plants out here that make natural soap, plants. But they're too busy curating your soap and your body wash and your face wash and all this stuff in a lab. And this is what you've been keen to all of your life because this is how you've been programmed. You don't even realize that there's natural plants that make soap. You don't even realize the power of how plants have. Thank you for the follow. And so the power in itself of natural holistic healing and using food as your medicine is you realizing that every single bite that you take sends a signal to your body, whether it's harming or whether it's helping. Processed foods and added sugars, these inflammatory sugars, they're sending signals to your body to fuel inflammation. They're sending signals to disrupt your hormones. But when you're eating plant-based foods that are nutrient dense, that are supporting you, that not only make you have the amount of correct calories and correct balance of nutrition and don't make you go over your calorie count every single day, don't make you over consume, they signal your body to heal. They signal to your body, hey, we're taking care of ourselves. We're flushing on the regular. Now we're balancing our gut. Our pH is high enough to dissolve all of the foods. Our gut system is functioning correctly, so our digestive tract is flowing. So we're not backed up with a bunch of toxins and crap. We're mentally clear. We're not fatigued and fogged anymore. All because we're using food as our medicine and showing our body that, hey, you can send out those signals to help ourselves heal rather than overworking, working overtime, and being filled up with a bunch of toxins, being filled up with a bunch of inflammation and struggling. Because the average person in the U.S. consumes about 60 pounds of added sugar a year. 60 pounds. This disrupts your metabolism. This spikes your insulin because majority of you are doing this every single day, which is spiking your insulin, which is throwing you off. Increases your risk of having heart disease, diabetes. It increases your risk of having heart disease by 38% if you regularly consume sugar, a processed sugar. Let me rephrase that because natural sugar is different. When you are sitting there also consuming these highly processed sugars, these heavily processed toxic sugars, it leads you down the path of developing Alzheimer's because literally, and this is fact, this is not me just speaking, literally when you sit there and eat processed sugar all throughout your life, there is so many studies that back this up. You are risking having Alzheimer's by the time that you are 50 plus. And that's probably even lower now. That is literally research, scientific fact. You look it up, the link between sugar throwing off your brain and how you develop Alzheimer's because sugar literally makes you go insane. Sugar not only stimulates your dopamine, which gives you the response of, ooh, this is good, give me more, your feel-good hormone, but it disrupts, like I said, your hormonal balances far as you having an insulin spike, far as your menstrual cycle, far as you having a balanced system overall, which causes inflammation, which is going to cause you to have Alzheimer's. So do you want to sit here and consume yourself into losing your mind? Because that's what a lot of people are doing and not realizing that. The same thing about schizophrenia, because I've talked to a couple of people that were talking about how they have to take schizophrenia medicine and they want to get off of it. That is also a sign, and it's in all the herbal books that talk about the fact that the link is directly to the foods that you consume. The more crap that you eat when you have these issues of Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, all of these different things, you having epilepsy, they're signs that tell you you're not eating correctly. Even in autism, because I worked with kids for 5+ years. The signs are there to tell you these kids that are dealing with autism and they develop it later in their life rather than being born with it, even still born with it, there is those factors. But specifically for the kids that are here and they develop it later on, you have to look at the foods that you're feeding the child. Point blank, period. Because a lot of the temperaments that these children go through is because you feed them crap and you reprogram their brain to say, let me keep eating this food, and that's causing a temperament. Because these behavioral issues don't happen with the kids, that their parents do research and study the fact that food directly affects and impacts not only your mental, but also your behavior. So when you're feeding your child because they only eat crackers and chicken tenders, that's all they eat all the time. They only like Chex Mix. They only like Nutri-Grain bars, and they only like these different types of junk food. And that's all they eat. So that's what you feed them. So they eat because they have to eat. You're programming and you're sitting there reinforcing the negative of the fact that they're going to keep putting themselves in this inflammatory state, which is going to feed their autism. And I hate it because a lot of people hate hearing that, but that is true fact. So every time I speak on it, I have somebody that comes in and they're so offended by me talking about autism because they feel like I'm speaking it as in a space of that it's a problem. When I'm not saying it's a problem, what I'm saying is the action that you have towards it is a problem. How you view it is the problem. How you've been programmed to view autism and all of these other issues that are literally developed as a problem. That's the problem. It's not the child actually having autism. It's not the child actually having anything going on, schizophrenia, gut issues, or whatever else. The problem is how you treat it. You follow these systems that have poisoned the child in the beginning, poisons you in the beginning. Because when a child is born with a disease, let's really break this down. When a child is born with some type of disease, you have to look at the parents. Not saying it's the mother's fault directly or the father's fault directly, but you have to look at the parents because these things are stored inside of you. Just like I said, toxins store inside of your fat cells, for instance. Microplastics store inside of your fat cells. Different issues of toxins that cause problems store inside of you. And majority of society does not flush their body, so they don't know how to support themselves. So when you are sitting here with all of this inside of your body and then you conceive a child and this child is sitting there brewing in their mother for 9 months, who also came from a father that was built up with toxins and microplastics, then the mother's built up with toxins and microplastics. And then all through her pregnancy, she's craving sugar, she's craving crap, she's craving hot chips, she's craving all of these different things that are filled up with additives and fillers that are toxic. And then the child comes out and they're telling you, yes, this child has Down syndrome. Yes, this child is missing a chromosome. Yes, this child has autism. You have to really sit there and realize it's the food. It's the things that you have, even the products that you use. Just like they tell you when you are pregnant, you're not supposed to be sitting here around a bunch of heavy chemicals. You're not supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. It's the same thing with your food. The habits that you have directly impact the fetus as it's brewing inside of you. The same thing with you everyday life. It impacts you. So why do you not think the habits that you have before the child comes out impacts how the child comes out? Thanks to the follow. Like, it's not rocket science. But at the same time, it's not common sense because everything that's common in my home is not common in your home. And so I'm okay with making the connections and being the bad guy for the people that feel like that I'm jumping on people for having any other non-normal, typical things. I'm not saying that. I've worked with all walks of life. What I'm saying is the problem is that we sit here and we think that this is the way of life, that now that majority of, I think over 50% of kids are born with some type of learning disability, some type of autism. They're born with all these different things, or they're diagnosed by the time that they're 2, and this is okay. They have some type of speech delay. They're sitting there going through regression. One minute they can speak, the next minute they can't, and you can't figure out why. Look at how much heavy metals are in their foods. Look at how much inflammatory sugar is in their food. Look at how much microplastics they're consuming. How much is your child eating fruit? Do they even eat fruits and vegetables at all? Have you taught them to eat fruits and vegetables? And majority of you say, no, my child won't eat vegetables. They don't eat green foods. They won't eat this. But that's because you don't eat it. That's because you don't teach them the right way. You have to literally lead by example. And we know this. Some people could sit there and observe and say, no, that's not the way that I want to go. But a child is a child. The kid is watching you, observing you to see how to live life. So how are you going to teach them? Are you going to teach them to go down the same path of poisoning their body? Or are you going to teach them how to take care of themselves? And that's a question you have to answer for yourself. You don't even got to drop it in the chat. I just want you to answer that for yourself. Because when you shift your whole lifestyle and the way that you live, you start eating plant-based foods, you start using food as your medicine, everything in your life shifts. From the things that you were suffering from before, from the way that you feel. The foods flood your body with antioxidants. They fill you with vitamins. They fill you with the minerals that you need. And it reduces your inflammation and it supports your body in balancing. This is how you help your body heal. This is what your body's been craving and what it wants and what it needs. And so foods that help you, like spinach and berries and sweet potatoes, they don't just feed you and make you feel full, but they help you heal. They support you in healing. And so when you begin to replace inflammatory foods like meat and dairy with plant-based nutrients, with nutrient-rich foods, nutrient-rich meals, you feel that change almost immediately. You feel that change. You could do this for a month and you immediately start to see how your body's starting to heal. You can do this for a couple of weeks and you immediately see how much energy you gain. How much your body feels full off of real natural foods and fueled rather than you just filling and making it by. Playing that cat and mouse, that catch-up game, trying to just make it by, catch up. Keep your body on this track of managing instead of healing and keeping it in healing. Because it's not magic. It's straight science. It's not rocket science. It's not some type of like chemistry. I mean, it is chemistry technically if you're really breaking down the body. But it's not difficult. It can be simplified. Easily simplified. You just have to have the mindset around that you want change and you need change and you understand the purpose of why you have to change your lifestyle. Because small little changes, little itty bitty small changes that you can make every single day, like swapping out your meals or adding in greens to your plate, starting to find different type of snacks that actually support you that aren't terrible full of processed sugars but actually have natural sugar in them, you'll start to see that small little changes lead you to the big lifestyle change that you need on this journey of you learning and understanding what is healthy and what is going to support you in being healthy. And it's going to make you feel supported and make you feel healthy. And so if you are a person that suffers from dealing with diet culture, cleanses, and you want to know like why your cleanses fail, why most cleanses fail, why they support you 1 minute and the next minute they don't. Let me tell you why. Here's why. They're extreme. You have to calorie count, you restrict, you starve yourself, you don't feel good during the process, right? Everybody has done a diet or some type of restricting and they didn't like it. And then you sit there and realize after you stop doing that and you actually change your habits that not only is it unnecessary, it's unsustainable. So you're not going to keep these habits of restricting and calorie counting and taking all this crap out and doing all these different things. But you also realize it does not get to the root cause of the issue. And so you have to get to the root cause of the issue in order for you to realize where your symptoms are stemming from, in order for you to release and in order for you to support yourself. Because juice cleanses might support you in like, shedding water weight temporarily, helping you flush your body, which is great. But they don't actually tackle the fact that you are built up with toxins inside of your gut, and it doesn't help you with the overall balancing of your hormones completely because it's not sustainable. And I'm saying that as somebody who is plant-based. A juice cleanse is not going to get you what you need. It's going to flush you temporarily, but it's not going to get you what you need because you don't do it on the regular, nor do you have the habits that are going to support you in actually healing your body and actually understanding how to do this on the regular outside of you just doing a juice cleanse every 6 months. The key is for you to learn how to cleanse properly. And I do have the cleansing code that is helpful for you, that is going to support you, and that is different, that is going to completely transform how you view the cleansing and detoxing space. Because it is designed to specifically gently lead you into detoxing yourself and nourishing your body while you're doing that on a cellular level. A lot of you are not getting nourished on a cellular level. And if you want to see what that code to cleansing is, it is linked in my bio. Because that cellular level of hydration and support and nutrition is how you allow yourself to not be deprived, but also help your body heal in the process of you still consuming correctly. And the book is the ebook is a bundle of 7 books total that cover everything you need that is going to help you reset your body, from heavy metal detoxing to eliminating inflammation, eliminating these dangerous toxins that are not supporting you, gut healing, and helping you restore your digestive tract and your immune system, as well as a fasting guide. It gives you a template guide in there and much more, because it's 7 guides total that is going to help you flush and cleanse yourself with fruits and vegetables and make this an enjoyable process that you can keep doing, all with also template guides that are going to support you. Each book is going to support you with recipes, with tips, with actions that you can be supported with, as well as breaks down the understanding of nutrients and getting it from a variety of a rainbow plate of seeing all of the things that you can eat and how you can get every single aspect of nutrients and hit it all with natural plant-based foods, and see how it can change you and impact you immediately. That is linked in my bio, so if you're ready, you can go ahead and grab that, because I created this cleansing code for people that are ready to take control of their health, one, and two, for people that are ready to see actual change in their system and see change and don't want to develop diseases, or they want to heal from anything that they have going on, if they have something going on. A majority of society has at least one of the 10 things that I have listed this entire life. That guide is a step-by-step process that you are walked through in detoxing and cleansing, resetting and revitalizing your body, and giving you exactly what you need to start seeing results today. Something that I still use to this day, that you should be using as well. If you are looking for that support, and you're looking for deeper support, and maybe necessarily you don't want to start with a cleanse, but you want to go plant-based and you want to understand the natural foods that come from the earth that help you be supported, give you all the nutrients that you need, and feel good about in the space of you starting a new lifestyle, new habits, and getting to the root cause of the issue that you have so that you can heal it from the inside out, you are looking for deeper support, which you will get in my Bloom to Thrive program. My Bloom to Thrive program, or my Bloom and Thrive, my Bloom and Thrive program is going to take you on the full process of step-by-step, not only elevating you to the next level of knowing how to be plant-based, understanding how to cook your plant-based meals, going through the process of you making your own natural medicine, showing you exactly how to make your own natural products so you're not sitting here throwing your hormones off with the things that you're using as well as the foods that you're consuming, but also gives you sustainable habits that you can keep and you're going to use for the rest of your life, so that you feel simplified in the process rather than you feeling like it's difficult and overwhelmed, because it's going to break down in the 12 weeks that you are working in that program of living a plant-based lifestyle exactly how I do and how I've been living for 4 years, and how you stay in the space. Because you need to thrive in the space that you are physically, mentally, and emotionally, and not many of you are. Many of you might be thriving in one aspect, but how would you feel thriving in all of the aspects? Physically, mentally, and emotionally, all three being supported by the lifestyle that you live, because you understand actual health rather than just doing diet culture and what they view as healthy as society and what everybody is doing in this box of what is normal. Because this normal box is making us sick. This box of normal is keeping us down and ill. It's not giving us what we need at all. And so support yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, all by using food as your medicine to start to see how to transform your lifestyle, and see how then you'll start to make other changes in your life that lead you down the habits that are going to keep you in a healthy, healing space and get rid of the block. Because imagine if you were somebody who wakes up fatigued all the time, like you would never have energy. Imagine waking up with energy. Imagine not having to deal with coffee. Imagine not having to take supplements and tinctures. Imagine feeling at home in your body, feeling like you're not having to play catch up, feeling like that you're sitting here doing that cat and mouse game every single day of just trying to make it by. Can you only imagine knowing what it feels like that your body actually has fuel to run off of? Because many of you are putting sugars in your body that did not help your body, but rather actually getting real natural sugars is going to allow your body to be fueled, because your body converts that sugar into energy rather than using that processed crappy sugar as something to expel and flush your body, and your body sitting there in insulin resistance, spiking your insulin because it's telling you, hey, I have to flush this because it cannot stay here. And then your body's craving sugar because it's saying, I still need the natural sugar for energy, and you never giving it that, because that's what many of you do every single day in your life. You sit here and choose to poison yourself with these processed sugars instead of choosing how to know how to fuel your body. And the choices that you make are either going to affect you positively or negatively. So how is your body really acting right now? Is your body giving you the positive signs of you taking care of it, or is it giving you the negative feedback telling you you need to change? Because I can guarantee you right now, if you were in this live, your body is giving you negative feedback because you were brought here for a reason. You're looking for a solution. So what are you going to do to get that solution? How are you going to gain that for yourself? Because it's possible. Get into that cleansing code that is linked in my bio. Get into the Bloom and Thrive program that is going to support you completely and walk you through it and have the accountability. You'll have one-on-ones with me. We'll have chats, sessions that can support you releasing that crap that's in your pantry, in your fridge, getting you the grocery list that you need, revamping your lifestyle, and doing it without you having to struggle in between. Because the first 3 months of my lifestyle, me being plant-based, I was doing a lot of trial and error. That program allows you to not have to deal with the trial and error and suffer and feel like you're doing this on your own. You can start transforming your health today. Go grab that cleansing code that is going to help you, or DM me or click the link if you want to know more about the Bloom to Thrive. The Bloom to Thrive program does have a whole landing page. Every single thing on my page is a landing page. It's not just, oh, you go and buy, you don't know what you're buying. It shows you and breaks down everything that you're getting with each product and everything that you need to know. And if you have any more questions, feel free to DM me always. If you have any questions about or concerns, DM me. If you have any questions or concerns about what's going on with you and you just don't want to ask it on live, or you feel like you just need support, feel free to DM me. I will always answer your DMs. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. Because transformation can help happen today. It's just a matter of what you're doing. And before I end this live, drop your questions down if you have any questions. But before I close them, before I end this live, I want you to understand that you don't have to feel frustrated or fatigued. If you are somebody that feels frustrated or fatigued right now, your body is capable of healing itself. It's the matter of what you're doing and how you do it. So if you feel like you need support and you feel like that you can get it here, and you trust and you know that the Most High has brought you here, because the Most High brought me here being plant-based 4 years, and you know that he's been telling you you need to change because your body's been telling you need to change, then you need to click the link in my bio and find the right support that is going to help you start your journey today. Don't just sit here and not do anything because you're sitting here wanting, but you're not doing. So for the people that are in here, before I close out, drop what questions you have in the comments. Like I said, go grab that cleansing code. Go grab that Bloom and Thrive program. If you have not seen what it is, if you have not tapped into it, go look and see how it can support you and see how it can transform your life completely. Start now, because a few months from today, we're going to be in a new year. A few months from today, you're going to be sitting here talking about all of your New Year goals when you could have already been ahead of the game. Telling everybody like, oh, I already got my body snatched. I don't have to sit here and lose weight for the new year. I don't sit here and have to do all of this. I don't have to do these diets anymore. I completely changed my lifestyle. This is what I did, X, Y, and Z. You can start teaching your children and your future children and the generations after how to take care of their body and to help them heal and to understand how they can heal themselves. It's all the matter of what you do. It's all the matter of what you want for yourself, what you want for your children, what you want for the kids that you might have in the future. You can even show the past generations, because I have people that are in past generations that ask me, what did I do? How have I changed? I look so different. I look like I just feel better. And I do. I look better. I feel better. I'm thriving in the space because I know how to take care of my body. And so if you have any questions, drop them down, please. I want to ask you this and leave you with this question. If you can drop the response if you want to in the comments. If not, just think about this and dwell on your own. What's one step that you'll take today that is going to help you reset your body, reset your health? Drop it in the chat. I'd love to hear it. But if not, just think about it. What is one thing that you are going to change today that is not going to be a momentary thing, a diet, but actually is going to shift? I'm no longer going to eat out 5 times a week. I'm no longer going to sit here and not drink any water. What is one thing that you were going to do to help reset your body and flush? I'm going to start my day out with fruits. What is one thing that you were going to do to enhance your body, to enhance your health, enhance your journey? So like I said, drop your questions down. I'll be on here for a few more minutes to take questions. And if you don't have any questions for me, then I am going to hop off. I have not eaten today. I'm sitting here trying to be good. I'm trying to talk myself out of going to get some French fries, but I made some chili and I have cheese and I really want some chili cheese fries. I can't even lie to y'all. I really want some chili cheese fries. Like, I really do. And they had no potatoes at the grocery store when I went, because I was going to make me some potatoes, but here we are with no potatoes, and I want some chili cheese fries. And I'm going to be cleansing. I was going to start cleansing today. I have been fasting. I fasted yesterday. I've only been eating one meal. I've been working my way up, and I was going to start today. But I know if I start today and I've been craving chili cheese fries, I'm going to cut the cleanse short so I can get some chili cheese fries. So I'm thinking about just going ahead and giving myself a Friday treat and starting tomorrow, since I have been fasting every single day this week until about like past 3 o'clock. I fasted, I think, think on Monday or Tuesday until about 5ish. So I think I'm gonna start either tomorrow or Sunday. I might end it with a cleanse. I mean, with the fast. Honestly, I fast every single day, intermittent fast every single day. But I'm thinking about that. I'm gonna probably end. I don't think I'm gonna start, 'cause Saturday, me doing a fast all day Saturdays are really, really hard. If I can do it tomorrow, I'll probably do a fast all day Saturday, start it out strong, and then do my fruits, because I have all my fruits. They just need to be washed. I have washed half. I haven't washed all. So that's why I'm thinking, like, today I'm gonna give myself a Friday little treat beforehand to walk into it and be like, okay, here's your chili cheese fries. Now act right tomorrow, kind of situation. Because like I said, like, no, I do not still eat meat and cheese. Sorry, let me clarify. I make my own cheese. It's linked. It's literally pinned to my bio how I make my plant-based cheese, as well as in my plant-based cookbook. If you want to break down more and you want to have the recipe for yourself, I make my own plant-based cheese sauces. I make my own plant-based cheeses. So if I say cheese, chili, meat, or anything, it's all plant-based. Everything is plant-based. So the chili, it doesn't have any meat in it. I didn't even put any like meat substitutes in it either. I literally just made chili, like vegetarian chili, no cheese, like my plant-based cheeses only. So let me clarify that. But yeah, so I'm thinking I might do that. I can't even lie to y'all. I might do that because the chili cheese fries sounds so good right now. That sounds delicious. That sounds really good. And I'm trying to talk myself out of like, oh, I am going to dinner tomorrow. I forgot about that. My cousin's dinner is tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna have to revamp my thought process. I just remember my cousin's dinner is tomorrow. Dang it. I'm gonna have to revamp. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. I'm still cleansing. I'm still gonna do that, but I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. Cause I always like to, like, if I'm gonna be downtown, I like to be like, well, you know what, since I'm already downtown, let me just go ahead and get me my little vegan spot. I might take myself, because when they're done with dinner, I might take myself on a little date. I'm about to revamp. I'm about to think. Oh, welcome in. Hi, Tony. I'm glad to hear you're plant-based also. If you have any questions, guys, drop them down. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Drop them down before I get off. If you have any questions, I went on a little talk. Went on my little spiel at the end, like I do. I just be talking to you guys. We just sit here and chat. And thanks for the gift. I appreciate you. What do you guys have for me? I don't know. I might, because I might just eat before I go tomorrow, and not go get something and just get my fries today. Make it simple for myself today, harder tomorrow. I can't even lie to you, because it's like I don't feel like cooking really. I already have the chili made. Yeah, I might just do it. This little one needs to be cut. Y'all have no questions for me? Really? Y'all have any questions about living a healthier lifestyle, plant-based? Any questions about the cleansing code, that whole bundle book, the Bloom and Thrive program? Do you have any questions about starting your healthy journey? I've been plant-based for 4 years. 4 years as of last month. October was my anniversary month, and I did not take myself out on a date, so I'm making it up, because I take myself on a date every single year. I try to do something special. How long have you been plant-based? And I didn't take myself out on a date, and I have not taken myself out on a date. Like, I just been picking up food. I've been to the lake, a kind of little like lake date, a little chill with myself. But I haven't taken myself like on a date in a minute, and I need to. 7 years, that's amazing to hear. I love hearing it. How has that impacted your life? Like, did something make you go plant-based? Did you just decide like this is gonna be like my change? Like, I see what it can do. What made you go plant-based? Because for me, it was, I wanted to transform my health. It's time for this hair to come down, all these pieces of straight. I knew I needed to transform my health. And in 2020, I was learning so much about what what they were doing to our meat. I learned about them doing GMOs. And then, in 2019, they started making, I think it was GMO cows and chickens. And then, a year later, they started with GMO pigs. And then they have rolled it out now where we can eat GMO animals and it doesn't have to be disclosed to you. And I knew as soon as I found that out in 2020, that was just not the way for me to go. I was like, you're telling me you're going to genetically modify my animals. I knew what GMO fruits and vegetables were. I knew that was a thing already. I wasn't really sure about like going to the grocery store and getting them. I pick up anything, didn't really understand. But as I started getting more into like organic and understanding the natural and the essence of seeds and why you need them and why they're cutting them out and knowing how they're genetically modifying for a reason, that completely made me change my concept of what actual food was and why I was suffering the way that I was. So once I went plant-based and was just thinking like, okay, I'll do this for maybe a month or two or maybe a year, or try this out because I can do a diet for 6 months at least. I've done that before. Within the first 3 months, I realized this is not a diet. Like, this is a complete lifestyle change that I've been needing and I've been asking for. And the Most High pointed me in that direction because I kept asking, how do I help myself heal? How do I change my lifestyle? Why do I keep suffering? Why do I have asthma and nobody in my family has asthma? Like, I had so many questions that he answered by him showing me the way of me going plant-based. Him just saying, just try this out. See how it goes. Like, he literally knew that I'm one of those people that I have to try it. Just dip my toes in. And he knew that it was going to support me. And it did. Your mom was diagnosed. The kid is one of the phases of giving up meat. Just finally decided it was a permanent lifestyle. As a kid, I was one of those kids who didn't like eating meat. Funny enough, I was a child that did not like eating meat. My mom had to force me to eat meat. I never was a meat eater. My mom was like, the only thing you would ever eat every now and then was like chicken. Even then, I didn't really want to eat the chicken. If I had a burger, I'd eat the cheese off of it. Like, I was never a meat child. I had gotten to the point where, so many people were telling me, you have to eat meat, you have to eat meat, that I started eating meat when I was younger, and that programmed me to eat meat. And so that's why I tell people all the time that talk about their kids don't want to eat meat. Like, I have people coming to me talking about that their kids don't eat vegetables and fruit, they don't want to eat this, they don't eat this. I'm like, you have to understand that majority of kids don't even come out eating meat and dairy. You just program them into eating meat and dairy. Like, your child does not come out of the womb craving dairy milk. You don't come out of the womb getting dairy milk. You program them into doing that by slowly feeding them that when you get them off of breast milk, right? You start slowly feeding your child meat when they get off of purees, right? But instead of you doing that, realize the fact that if you started instead when they were doing their purees, instead of straight jumping into, oh, they need meat, they need to try this snack, they need to try these different drinks because they're going to be lactose intolerant, they need cheese, they need all these different things. Start incorporating vegetables when they first start eating, just like how they tell you when you're feeding the baby purees, the toddler, you don't start with the sweets because then they're only going to want the sweets. They're never going to eat their greens. They tell you to start with peas, start with carrots, start with the root vegetables they're not going to want to eat. That's the same thing when they start eating whole foods. Instead of starting to give them sweet potatoes and all these different things that they can eat and munch on and french fries and all of this junk, give them greens, give them green beans, give them peas, give them carrots. Start giving them the things that introduce the natural food so they have the cravings for natural food, because you're throwing off their chemical balance when you start immediately giving them junk as soon as they can eat. And a lot of people do not understand that. It's all the matter of what you train, and you're training the child to crave the crap that you eat. And so if you want to reparent that and reprogram that in yourself, you have to train yourself to crave those things as well. Oh, I was like, I know I'm hitting something. I knew I was hitting something. I didn't know what it was. So I realized I was forcing my kids to eat meat, and they were always leaving it on their plates. And a lot of parents don't understand that because they were taught the same process. You eat what's on your plate. You eat your meat because if not, you're not going to get your proteins. You have to eat your dairy because you're not going to get your calcium. You're not going to have strong bones. Like all these different things that have been fed and programmed, instead of doing a little bit of research and making the connections of this is why diseases are running rampant in our society. And this is the reason why we're not being supported. It's the reason why they've developed diseases and illnesses. This is the reason why their kids are developing it earlier and earlier. Forcing your child to eat things that they don't want to eat, and it's not actual real whole foods, should be a telltale sign. That should be a sign. But a lot of people don't, because they don't even hear the signs of their own body telling them, hey, you're inflamed. Hey, you need to quit eating this. They don't listen to the signs of their own body, so they're not going to listen to the signs that their child is trying to tell them as well. Parents are the only reason why. And yes, exactly. That's the only reason why they're introduced to sugar, dairy, and meats, processed sugars, not non-natural sugars. Your child sits there and watches you eat a whole bunch of processed sugar, and then you tell them to go get an orange. They're not going to want to eat an orange. You don't even eat the oranges. You tell them to go eat fruits. You tell them to go eat all this, and you don't even eat that. That's not fair to them, because you're leading by example, and you're not leading them down the path they need to go. And that's scriptural. That's literal scriptural. You raise the child up the way you want them to go. You parent them the way you want them to go. You're supposed to daily renew your mind and not conform to this world. Romans 12:2. But yet people are sitting here conforming every single day, doing what everybody else is doing, and not viewing the world in the light of the Most High, repairing and reprogramming their mind to figure out what He views and deems as worthy, what is right, what is holy, what is perfect. And this is why we're down this whole path of being ill, being malnourished, being sick, raising a generation of kids that are sick, malnourished, ill. Kids that they're recommending having weight loss surgery at 14. Makes no sense. None. But I'm not seeing any questions. So if you guys have not followed me, go ahead and follow me. This live will be posted on YouTube later on. If you have not, hold on, y'all, it's asking me to verify myself. If you miss out on this live and you want to catch the full live, all of my lives are posted on YouTube. We're probably about a week behind. So this will go out next week, if that makes sense. We do have our scheduled lives that go out every single Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube. I'm so happy you came across this live as well. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you that gave gifts, that liked this live, that commented, because you help us grow. You help us reach on the FYP. And like I said, if you need the cleansing code, if you need to understand how to completely cleanse your body and reset it, the cleansing code is linked in my bio, as well as my Bloom and Thrive program. If you are looking for something for full transformation, it is linked in my bio. I am going to head off of here, but thank you. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, go on ahead. If you missed all of my past lives, they are on YouTube. You should check out the Plant-Based Mastery playlist, as well as the Purge the Poison playlist. If you are new and you're just looking for a healthy transformation and understanding the lifestyle, they will support you in getting started today for the free ski. Every single thing that I have linked in my bio you can get a Klarna Firma Afterpay. Thank you. I'm really thinking about going to get it. I think I'm going to go get my chili cheese fries. I can't even lie to y'all. I can't. I said I was going to wait until tomorrow to get some food, and was going to fast today, but it's like, I want some chili cheese fries, y'all. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of y'all today. I've been eating cucumbers and hummus for the past 2 days though. I've been doing really good. I'm just trying to get off of the more cucumbers than hummus, but I've been doing good. Okay. Cause I'm working my way up to my cleanse. So I don't sit here and end it. Cause I'm thinking I want to do a 7-day. I'm debating if I want to do a 5 or a 7-day. I'm going to try to aim for 7. Cause I think last time I did a 5. So I work my way up to it. And that's something that you learn in the cleansing code. I show you and teach you how to do it without having to suffer through your cleanse, actually working your way up to it so you feel comfortable. How is this little baby here trying to lift up and the other ones aren't? Anyway, I hope you have an amazing rest of y'all's weekend. Have a great, amazing rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your night. And remember, ask yourself that question that I have for you. What is that one thing that you are going to help yourself in resetting your health? What is the one thing you're going to start doing today? That is the question that I'm leaving you with, that I want you to answer for yourself. If you have any questions or concerns that you have after I get off of live, please feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open. Go follow me on all my other socials, just in case they take TikTok away from us in January. And I look forward to hearing from the people that need to hear. If a link does not work, please DM me. Have a great rest of your day, y'all.